Using the EvenKeel software to create a custom orthotic. Step 1. Login. Type in rx.evenkeelorthotics.com into your web browser. Enter your username and password that we've provided for you and click Login. Step 2. Register a patient. Upon entering, you will be brought to the specification history. This is a list of other orthotic specifications that you have created or edited recently. To edit any specification, clicking on the name of the spec will bring you to an options page where you may enter the spec or delete it from the spec list. Click on Configure a new orthotic. This begins a new orthotic specification. Enter the patient's last name and then press the Tab key or click out of the box. Enter the patient's first name. Select the patient's gender with the radio button. Enter the patient's date of birth and press the Tab key or click out of the year box. If you do not click out of the year box, you will not be able to click the next button in the navigation panel. The words "Not available" will pop up next to it. Click Next. Step 3. Scan the patient. Have the patient stand on the scanner inside the window. Have the patient step inside the scan cover and zip up the cover around their ankles, ensuring no parts of the foot are stepping on the cover. Click Scan and select the scanner from the list of available scanners. The scanner you want to use is going to have A3-1200S in the title. The scanner will light up. Scans take about 40 seconds to complete. When the scan is complete and you see the patient's feet in the window, click the Save button. Do not hit Save pending scan. If you do, you will lose your scan and have to redo it later. Once you have been taken to the next screen saying the scan is complete, click Save pending exam. If you cancel here, we'll still have your scan, but we will not have a specification. At this point, you will be closing the open specification. This closes the open project and brings you back to the specification page for the patient. To continue to step 4, click Edit under the patient's name. This can be done immediately or whenever the provider is ready to input an exam. When you are back in the project, click Next until you arrive back at the Preview Examinations page. Step 4. Examine the patient. Click Input New Patient Exam. Then choose an exam length. We can default you to your preference, quick, standard, or long exam. Complete the essential exam elements in red, ensuring you have entered a shoe size and diagnosis as well. The exam elements on the right side are mirrored by the left side. That is to say, whatever you do on the right will automatically be applied to the left. If you wish to change the left, do so after you have set the right. When the exam is complete, you will see Essential Elements Complete, 100%. If something is missing, refer to the task list at the bottom of the screen, which will instruct you as to what is missing. Complete all remaining tasks, and when that is accomplished, click Complete Exam. Don't forget that shoe size and the patient's diagnosis are required inputs. Click Complete Exam. This will bring you out of the exam module back to the main project. Review your exam, and if satisfied, click Exam Complete in the What's Next section. Step 5. Select a shoe. Select a shoe type you intend to put the orthotic in. If you plan to put it in a sneaker, then select sneaker. If you plan to put it in a dress shoe, select dress shoe, etc. Review the options for your selected shoe. If you are not satisfied with the results, you can change them in the next step. Step 6. Customize the prescription. In this step, there are a number of sub-steps represented by the maroon tabs going across the top of the screen. Not all of these customizations are necessary to completely grasp right away, and some of them you may never use at all. But we will go through everything here and feel free to use this as a reference in the future. Orthotic prescription. Check and customize as needed the forefoot and rear foot angles. Using the arrows to the right of the numbers, you may adjust the values as you see fit. These numbers reflect what you would actually find for an angle after all the calculations have been completed and you are measuring them on the physical orthotic we mill. Flange options. Manipulate the amount of flange that will be present in the orthotic device. Lower or increase the medial flange, lateral flange, the forward lateral flange, and the heel flange to suit your patient's needs. Note that like the exam, the right side is mirrored by the left. Right controls left, and so should be set first. Flange thickness. Increase or decrease the thickness of the lateral flange. We typically default to the minimum, extra thin. Use this feature to stabilize the lateral flange and make it stronger and thicker for patients who will be posted extremely high. Heel depth. Increase or decrease the height of the heel posting depending on your patient's needs. As we always recommend some heel posting, determine this height by the intended shoe. This is why it's always important to ask what shoe the patient intends to use with their orthotics that you are constructing for them. Sneakers require a medium heel height on the assumption that heel lifts will be inserted beneath the orthotic to add the extra lift. If heel lifts are not desired, add 1/4 inch of increased heel thickness to compensate. In most women's dress shoes, where a heel is present, we recommend a low heel height for the orthotic as the heel of the shoe is providing the extra heel lift required. Arch fill. Utilize this feature to lower the orthotic's arch, that is, make the orthotic thicker between the high point under the second metatarsal head and the heel along the longitudinal axis, or to raise the orthotic's arch, to make the orthotic thinner between the high point and the heel. Most of the time, you will not need to use this, only in cases where you want to be a little extra thinner or a little extra thicker depending on the patient's needs and the shoe that they intend to use with the orthotic. Materials. Select a material for this orthotic. You will see there are different numbers associated with different types of materials. The numbers indicate the order we added them to our list. Numbers we skipped or discontinued. Only materials that are currently in stock will appear in the list unless you uncheck the box under the materials list. However, if you are looking for a material that is out of stock, please call us to check before choosing another. Refer to the information about materials in our material guide to get a better understanding of what to choose in various situations and circumstances. Volume. The volume controls allow you to decrease or increase the overall thickness of the orthotic. Volume deals with two aspects of thickness: the height of the top layer, called top thickness, and the presence of the middle layer, which we call platform cutaway. Think of platform cutaway like a chocolate cookie sandwich. We may remove the middle cream layer and construct the orthotic so it is overall smaller, or we may add extra chocolate cookies to the top of the top cookie to make the orthotic thicker. This only affects the base layer, the thickest material, and does not affect the top material combination. The top material always stays intact, as we apply a minimum top thickness that corresponds to the material you selected. Under What's Next, check off the box that says, click here when your orthotic prescription selections are complete and you are ready to move on to the summary. Step 7, Summary Review. Complete order or save and file. Review your order. Go over everything you have selected and see that it is what you want. Click Previous to go back and change anything you wish to change. Add special instructions. If you require extrinsic heel lifts, here's where you might want to indicate exactly what you'd like. Or if you have any other notes, comments, or modifications that you would like to see, you are welcome to add them here. Click Send to Lab for Construction at the top of the page. Or if the patient is not going to get the orthotic today, but you want to save their information and write it to our database for future use, click File Only. When you are complete with your selection, click the word Send to Lab for Production on the right and then click Save and Construct Orthotic on the left navigation area. Or if you click File Only, then click Save and File in the navigation area. When you click Send to Lab for Production and Save and Construct Orthotic, EvenKeel will start working immediately on your order, measuring the foot scan and reviewing your order for errors. If we find anything of concern, we will call you immediately. And with that, you've completed an orthotic order and are all done. The system will leave the specification state and bring you back to the patient's specification options page. Click Home on the navigation bar on the left or click the EvenKeel logo in the upper left corner. This will take you back to the specification history. If you have any questions or would like consultation on using the software, please call 617-383-4435 or email us at info@evenkeelorthotics.com. Thank you for choosing EvenKeel Advanced Custom Orthotics.